1, 2, 3. Hey, tell me if you've heard this before. A ragtag group of heroes seeking to destroy the established world and rebel against the order that thrives on the poor becoming poorer and the rich becoming richer. They're morally gray, and they clash over and over with themselves, each other, and the forces conspiring all around them because it's impossible to make a perfect world. If I've named one of your favorite shows, one of the books you read, one of the games that you might have played, then great, they're punk. And if I'm not mistaken, almost everything is punk now. Today, I'm going to teach you all about punk, where it came from, why it's so popular in today's media, and how you can use punk in your own writing. Who am I? I have a degree in creative writing, and I've written a few short stories, and I'm currently working on my own punk-inspired novel called Rain Weaver. So what is punk? Punk really started in England in the late 70s to early 80s. Now, at the time, the world was full of crap. People were unemployed, nobody really cared about each other, and a lot of the young people growing up in that time had nothing going for them. The government didn't care about them, they couldn't find work, and nothing was really working for them. So what do? They rebel. They fight back against this through music, through fashion, through culture. They dress in bold colors and dark makeup, and they scream, "Fuck the world, fuck the man." So punk was all about being anti-establishment, anti-governments, and being all about yourself and what you can do to make your world better. So how do we go from that culture of rebelling against the world and trying to find a better means to this? So punk lit is movies, games, and TV shows that take the concepts and the meaning behind the punk culture. That is what made punk so prevalent in today's media. Now, punk lit as a genre focuses on sci-fi and fantasy. Usually in punk lit, the story revolves around a group of heroes. Some people from the slums who seek to fix the world through their crime, or a disheveled worker from one of the larger corporations in the world that want to destroy the systems that they live in. They seek freedom in a way that money and power can't buy. And that's the really deep part about punk lit and how it connects back to the punk culture. Take, for example, We Happy Few. The game's focus is on a village in London where a magical pill called joy keeps the populace happy and ignorant to the destruction around them. In the game, you play as 3 characters who all, through their own reasons, seek to stop taking their joy and experience the world as it really is around them. Old, dirty, decrepit, and seek to find real, true happiness, usually through their own self-experiences and the traumas being let go of from joy. Or take Arcane, for example. Arcane is based around Jinx and Vi, the 2 sisters who are 2 sides of the same coin. They're both lower class citizens who seek to change the world how they can and create something new from it that can respect them and respect where they're from. Or take Victor and Jace from the same series, 2 brilliant scientists who seek to change the norms and challenge the ideals that have so long kept Piltover stagnant. Throughout all of these, punk is shown through the idea that they can achieve these things through themselves, the do-it-yourself attitude, through rebelling against the current systems. Punk isn't just about storytelling or about the culture or about the meaning behind it. It's also about the aesthetics. Cyberpunk 2077 is the most keen example of this. Cyberpunk was one of the first punk genres made, and the world all around it, the high-tech, low-life, encapsulates the entirety of punk. People live as street urchins. They live in the slums. They live day to day, not knowing when they'll get their next meal, not knowing what they can do, while the corporations and the people who are higher up get to do whatever they want. They can pay for health insurance, they can do anything that they want, and nobody will bat an eye. In the game, there are countless ads all around you, all for the corporations, all for brand new things that you can't afford. It really just shows the grim, gritty realness of a world where ads and corporations take prevalence against real humans. One last great example of punk put in a setting and in the world is Bioshock. A world built by a megalomaniac who seeks to heighten the power of people who run corporations all around him. Under the sea, where nobody can reach them, you as the main character are forced to come to gripes with who you are, with where you come from, with the people all around you trying to just use you for their own ends, and you seek to just be yourself. And while it's not spoken throughout, the world around you shows that entire gritty realness, from the people trying to fight against what's going on to the people who are splicers, the people who had too much atom in their body from the corporations pushing this. Now, we've gone through what punk is and how it's been used as a storytelling medium. So now, how do you use punk in your own writing or world building or whatever you're doing? Now, first and foremost, my number one tip is to focus on your world building. Punk revolves around the idea that the world is shit, that the poor people are injustice and are subjugated to these heinous evils, and the rich just get richer. If you really want to build out a punk world, you want to show off that divide. In Arcane, we have Piltover and the Lanes, two separate halves of the same coin. Piltover is the utopian up top, and the lanes are the slums down low. In Cyberpunk, the high-tech, low-life shows that exact divide between the rich, who can afford all this high-tech stuff, and the low-life, the slums, the people who are fighting every single day and probably die trying to get their head above water. If you can focus on this part and make this shine in your story, you will have a fantastic setting to base your punk world in. 2, you want to establish the conflict in your world. If you cannot establish this, then you will not have a good punk story. Is it a megalomaniac who seeks to control everything? Is it a bunch of corporations? Or is it an internal story where the person is seeking to destroy things for their own reasons, and they come to terms with why they're doing this, if they come to terms with all of these things? For example, in my own story, what I'm focusing right now on is the conflicts. My conflict is inner. The main character is destined to be a villain, is destined to destroy the world, but she doesn't want that. She wants to rebel against the established order of destiny and find her own path in life. And 3, let the aesthetic shine. Be bold, be crazy, have really cool character designs, have cool haircuts, have cool outfits, have random things that just happen for no reason. It's the rule of cool, but in punk. Like, take Arcane, right? Jinx is undeniably punk. Her entire kit is just bright colors, bold hair, cool makeup, everything. From the graffiti to every single thing that she builds. Spoilers for this next part, but in season 2, when she builds the new arm and it's shown off in the fight scene, it's so cool, right? The way that the arm moves, the way that it's shown off through visual storytelling, what kind of person Jinx is becoming, someone who can fix things and rectify the systems in place that are not that good versus season 1, it's magnifique. I hope you learned something in this video. If you didn't, here are some quick fun facts. Cyberpunk was never meant to be the term for the series. It was a throwaway line, and then it was picked up in a Washington Post article and became this well-known, widespread term for a genre that now encapsulates what punk really is. Lots of cyberpunk sci-fi things, like the internet at the time, VR, and AI, are now real. We are living in a dystopia. If it wasn't for Japanese culture taking a hold in cyberpunk, we wouldn't have your waifus, Johnny Silverhand and Rebecca, so be thankful for them. Punk started in the late... There's a car beeping outside.